Hey guys, how you doing? It's Greg from Fat Man Little Trail doing another Fat Man First Take, this time of the Kodiak Selkirk boots. This is my third pair of Kodiak boots that I'm reviewing. I really enjoy the Kodiak boot. They've got a really nice feel to them and a really nice style, and I'm getting really comfortable with them. So this is their newest brand. It's the Selkirk. A couple things I want to talk about. First and foremost is the fit of this boot. What's more important than having a comfortable fit when you are out hiking and doing your outdoor activities? The Selkirk has something that they call a Comfort Zone Eco, which is, you can see it right down there. What it is it's a really soft insole to this shoe right here. When you're walking on it, it feels more like you're walking in, just a regular kind of like a tennis shoe style of shoe instead of the boot. A lot of times the hiking boots can be really hard on your feet, really solid across the bottom of your foot. But these have a really soft feel. It really cushions your walking. So every time that you're standing on, you're coming down on that foot, on dirt, on grass, on rocks, whatever it is, it gives you a little bit of extra padding. As far as the fit goes, it's a really good fit. It's got a little bit tighter back here in the heel, where it's going to be used for heel capture to make sure that your foot doesn't pop out of the shoe as you're going up inclines and things like that. It does have a little bit of a narrower toe box. So I have a wider foot, so the narrow toe box, it's tight for me. It's cramped a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. It's not so tight that I can't move around it. But compared to some of the other boots I've tried, especially the Kodiak Stave had a wider toe box, it felt. But the Selkirk is just a little bit narrower. So that was a little bit, that was the only thing that didn't really work for me on the fit. The second thing that's important, as I hit myself in the face, is the grip. So you can see the treads right there and the traction. The traction on this is actually really good compared to some of the other boots that I've hiked in. As far as the Kodiak boots go, I'd say that this is probably right up there with the Stave, a little bit below or a little bit above the Skogan that I tried first and foremost. So, as far as dirt, this thing chews up dirt like it's nothing. With that extra, comfort on the insole, you can walk on dirt as long as you want, and it's not gonna, affect your foot. It's gonna feel like this is grabbing in every single time. It's grabbing the dirt and helping you with that traction. Rocks I've hiked on. Rocks are nice and easy. You can get to about 45 degrees. If this is dry right here, you can get to about 45-degree angle. So if you're doing some bouldering and up and down and things like that, at 45 you're still in a comfortable position with the Selkirk. Now, if they get damp, they do get a little bit slick. So if you're like crossing a river and then you come out of the river and you've got to do some bouldering right outside of the river, which I know happens, in the Rockies a little bit, you're probably only at about 30% there on the grade. It only takes a minute or so for them to dry out and get back to that perfect grip that you're used to, but it is something that you want to keep in mind. Waterproofing, rock solid. These have been through glacier melt and some streams and stuff. I haven't been into deep snow with these or anything like that. I've been into light snow that sat on top. Even when the snow melted from the top of the boot, no issues at all getting through. Nothing has penetrated into this foot. Foot protection, again, you got that extra insole, that Comfort Zone Eco that they call it, and then your midsole, and everything here is just a really solid piece. So when you're stepping on rocks, I've stepped on gravel, on rocks, on jagged edges to bouldering type of stuff. Never had anything come through and penetrate. Nothing, even with a pressure point, that's gonna bother me going through the bottom of this shoe. So that is actually really solid as well. As far as style goes, nice classic look to this. It's kind of, it's not flashy. You don't have all 12 different colors in it. They have this is the brown. They also have a gray version of this with black accent. The gray one has white lacing, and I don't know if you can tell it. So the brown one has some red accent lacing. But otherwise, it's just a really kind of classic style. I'm more of a function over style guy anyway, so I'm not the best guy to judge style, but for me, this is one of those boots that you just put on and it looks like it's a hiking boot, or it's a work boot, this is a boot that wants to go out and hike. It's not a boot that wants to be in a magazine cover. This wants to do the job. And that's what I like about the style. That's kind of my style, and that's what I enjoyed about the style on that. What I didn't like about this boot, I kind of mentioned both of them so far. The toe box right here, just a little bit narrow. I have a wider foot, so that little narrowing on that toe box isn't the most comfortable thing for me. But I've still hiked in it about 20 times, so it's not something that's a deal breaker for me. But if you have a super wide foot, you're going to want to try this on maybe before you make the purchase. And then the other thing is, this one took me a little bit longer to break in than some of the other Kodiaks that I've had in the past. I think what happened was, I don't really know what happened. I know what I did to fix it was I had to relace it once. Coming out of the box, the top here by the toe was a little bit too tight, which was causing my foot to cramp a little bit. So once I got it nice and, kind of loosened and more into the lacing pattern that I like, then it started to work. It just took me a little bit out of the box, probably a couple hikes before I zeroed in on that and got comfortable with that. It's about $155 currently. That price is obviously subject to change. Like I said, they have a brown version, they have a gray version. There's a full review at fatmanlittletrail.com. Check it out. Also, KodiakBoots.com if you want to get a little bit more information. So overall, I'd say this is a really good purchase, $155 for the boot, especially if you live in like Colorado or Utah or Montana or somewhere where you're going to be walking on hard surfaces and things like that, because the extra Comfort Zone Eco on the insole there is going to help give that a little bit more comfortable of a walk against those rocks and against those hard surfaces and ruts and tree roots and all that stuff. I think it's going to be a really good purchase for that, and I think you'll enjoy it. So check it out, Kodiak Selkirk.